everybody, I am back for another Simply Layered Pages. Today we're going to be using some of this gray ribbon, this plaid ribbon. I love it. We're going to use the die from a celebration set, and it says celebrate. You can get this die for free when you place a $100 order. You can select this item as a free item. And then I pulled out my butterfly framelits, and we're going to be using 2 of those. And then I have some of this paper that you guys, I'm sure, are probably sick of hearing about. This is the Petal Passion Designer Paper, and it's this black and white set, and I'm using several of the patterns from in here. So let's get started. We're gonna start, I have, as always, you guys, I have some of my stuff laid out here. We're starting with a Whisper White piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. I'm laying this out on my mat so I can get everything nice and straight. And we're gonna start with this pattern right here and this pattern. These patterns go great together. The other thing that you can do with this paper is you can actually color these flowers. So if you wanted, my accent color today is Berry Burst, which is one of our in colors. And you could take your writer marker, or you could take a Wink of Stella and an ink pad or a aqua brush, and you could totally color that in. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a tiny, tiny strip of white showing, but this is gonna stretch all the way to the top. We'll layer that down. Then we can take this pattern and we can layer this down. So this strip right here measures 5 inches, and then it's 12 inches, okay? And whenever you are working with Whisper White paper, you're gonna wanna make sure that your hands do not have ink on them, because as you can see, I just got a little dot of Berry Burst that was on my hands from stamping earlier. But this will cover it up. So this piece right here is going to be 4 inches, and then okay, so we'll add this layer down. Just like this. So we have the start of our items. Okay, so we have the Celebrate die right there. That cuts beautifully. What I have right here is a piece of Berry Burst, and then I have one of our Project Life card. I have a piece of Berry Burst cardstock, and then one of our Memory and More cards from the same line of product. It's the Petal Passion Memory and More cards. And then what I've done is I've just added some ribbon here at the end. Now this card can go like this, or it can go like this. It's just a journaling card. So we're gonna be able to layer that together. And then I have 2 of these Berry Burst photo mats, and they measure 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that way my photo can just go right on top of this when I have photos printed that I want to use for this. Okay? You could add a layer of basic black behind this if you wanted. And then I have a butterfly here, and we're going to layer this right here. So let's layer this together, and then I'll be right back. All right, so a couple things that I did. The first thing I did is I did add black mats to this. So those black mats are at 6 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I just felt like it would pop a little bit more. And then I've changed the way I had these photos laid out, the photo mats. Originally, I was gonna stack the 4 by 6 photos. I decided not to do that. So one tip I have for you guys is to simply play around with the way you put your photo mats down. You might decide you want it a little bit different, or a different configuration might work a little better. I just thought this worked a little bit better. So now I'm just adding these photo mats down, and then I have this journaling card that I'm gonna add on this other side. You can see that I've just taped the back of that ribbon. I've not done anything fancy with it. So I'm putting that down here. We have the Celebrate that's gonna go here, and I can just add this with liquid glue. This die cuts amazing. I was very surprised the first time I used it. When I went to cut it, it just popped right out of the die, and it was beautiful. So I love this. We'll put that there. And then I have this large butterfly right down here. I'm gonna move this up so you guys can see it and zoom in a tiny bit. Getting these 12 by 12 layouts on camera is a little bit difficult. So I'm working down here with my corner right here. And then I have these smaller butterflies that I've cut, I've embossed, and then I've added some ink to. So you guys saw me add ink to the edges of my dragonflies, and I did basically the same thing, but I want to show you guys another way that you can make your dies really pop. And that's by just grabbing your Wink of Stella brush and adding glitter to these. Now I added ink to it so that that ink would react and it would move it around a little bit, because that will also give it a little bit more texture, and it'll add some interest to it. But you could just simply run this through embossing folders and then add some Wink of Stella to it. You can skip adding the ink to it. It's just one more way to spruce up these dies. So I'm going to do that to all of these. Bring our corner back over here that we're working with. I am going to bend that up a tiny bit. I just do that, and it gives this a little bit of dimension. And then we will grab our mini dimensionals again, and we will pop this die up. I'm placing that more on this part of the pattern than this. This is going to get lost a little bit with this pattern. And then I'm going to take one of my gray butterflies. We'll add some adhesive to this. And what we're going to do is we're going to tuck it right under the wing of the other butterfly. Just like that. So here's this side. So let's jump over and we'll do the second side. For the edge here, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So this way, it all feels like it's pulled together. Your eye's drawn to the middle of the layouts instead of the edges. We'll use our grid mat to help line it up. That's what I always do. We'll leave a tiny bit of white right on the edge. We'll do the same thing. So these are cut exactly the same as they were on the other side. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some black mats to these layers, just since I did it on the other side. Okay, so we have our layers on here. I've added black mats to these photos. And what I'm now going to do, I have adhesive on here. So we're going to start towards the bottom, and this is going all the way to the edge of the page. We'll add these. Okay, now we're going to add our other butterflies. But first, I want to show you this way to add. This can either be a 3x4 photo, or it's where you could do your journaling. So this is 3 1/4 across. And what I've done is you can see it's longer than 4. So what I've done is I've made this longer, and then I've taken this mat and it's 4 1/2. And you can see that it doesn't go all the way top to bottom, right? But that's gonna add a little bit of fun and interest. We can put a photo there, or we can do some journaling. We could add another white layer on there to add the journaling, or we could do it in a white pen. There's lots of different options, but you see that gives you a different kind of layer. So this is gonna go right here, layer right there. I have a piece of smoky slate, and it's going to go here. We can either stamp something on there. We could write a title. There's lots of different things we could do for that. And then we're going to take some of these butterflies that we have added Wink of Stella to. We're going to put 3 up top here, and then we will put 2 down here. Just like that. We'll pop these butterflies up. They can all go one direction if you want, like they're flying across the page. We could put one here. Let's do one over here. So they kind of look like well, I kind of don't like that. Okay, so let's come back here. Maybe we'll put them like that. So let's glue that down, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the final look. So I have my butterflies down. Everything's already nice and flat. I've popped some things up. I've added adhesive. And now I have a couple of these. And what I want to do is just add a few right here. I felt like there was a little something missing. Just like that. That adds a little bit of something. Let's bring our other side over here. And you can see how that turned out. I love the way this looks. I love this simply layered page this week. I hope you guys are enjoying seeing these. I'd love to know your thoughts about this. You can see photos over on my website, full photos. I hope you guys are having a great Friday and that you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys next week. Much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.